So today, what is it that we are going to talk about? We want to talk about five AI trends transforming businesses in 2024. And we want to include views and insights about AI and its trends for pharma. That's why I've invited you today, Max. What's the agenda? We have a little intro. We will talk about the AI trends and pharma insights. There will be an outro and plenty of time for a Q&A and for questions that the audience might have. Who am I? For the ones that don't know me yet, I'm Karolyne Hahn. I am an AI strategist. I help you to integrate AI into your business so you can focus on what matters without the tech headache. I do AI advisory, coaching, and consulting, courses, remote or in-house, and plenty of workshops. I'm a former corporate tech and business consultant, big digital transformation projects and programs from Fortune 500 to quantum computing startups. I also write a newsletter called Business Tactics, and whoever didn't join so far, you should join. Now to you, Max. I'm so happy for you to be here. Say a little bit about yourself, please.
Perfect, and thanks for the invite, and thanks for having me today. So, from my background, I'm a chemical engineer by training. I'm a former consultant, and today I'm a digital strategist and CX Excellence Director at Daiichi Sankyo. It's a Japanese pharma company focusing on cardiovascular and oncology. Yes, as it says, former roles, I worked at Pfizer, did global roles, regional roles, local roles, various disease areas. Was also on the board of biotech before. So yeah, I got a good overview over what's going on in pharma and health over the last years, and I'm really happy to give an overview and talk about this amazing topic of AI today.
Amazing. I'm so glad you're here and that you took some time off your day to be here with us. So, okay. And for the ones that are going to stay until the end, I have a limited time special for you. This will really be worth it if you stay until the end. So let's talk about the 5 AI trends right now. Trend number 1 is the TikTok's algorithm dominance. We want to talk about changing perspective. So TikTok's AI recommendation system outperforms any traditional media by minimizing user choice and maximizing personalization. So the applications in various industries are from media to e-commerce to marketing. And the broader implications for businesses are how they can leverage AI for personalized marketing strategies, for example. And to you now, Max, how can pharma and life science leverage similar AI algorithms for the patient engagement and personalized treatment plans?
I have to say, when you first raised that question to me, you were really the first one that brought up TikTok and pharma. So I think it was really interesting. I just had to first look up what exactly the algorithm is, what it exactly does, and how it works compared to other algorithms. And when I look at patient engagement and personalized treatment plans, so my view was, you have a lot of patients, and they might have comorbidities or different diseases, and they take multiple medicine. And I think 2 perspectives are really important: the perspective of the patient and the perspective of the doctor. So, so when the doctor is prescribing the medicine, the view is often like, is the right thing, we'll have the right adherence, taking it in a frequent way and the way it is. And you normally standardize your approach, right? You have a different persona as a patient in front of you. But if you see the way you could personalize it by having someone who uses wearables, who has like some key opinion leaders he's following, some different trends where you can actually personalize the way you talk to people, see this, and get everything in order. So you really have a connection here with the human interface and the way you can use data and the way you can use the evolution people are on to increase this. So it's a great point, yeah.
I think it's amazing. And I mean, with all the algorithms that we are already surrounded by, when we look to Netflix, for example, we are not really aware that there is an algorithm behind it and that we get recommendations from Netflix about what to watch next, what to do next. And it's exciting to see, and also a little bit frightening how well the TikTok algorithm is working. I don't really use TikTok. I don't know about you, but I know that it's heavily addictive, and everyone who starts using it is like they're on it for hours. So whatever we can do to learn from TikTok's algorithm is will bring the ones ahead that can use algorithms like TikTok's uses them. So that's just a thought. What do you think?
I really love your question. I don't know if you're using it or not. I remember there was a time where I was heavily using the TikTok, and it was hours a day, and I was like in this rabbit hole and seeing new things and ending up there and ending up there. And at some point I had to stop it. So yeah, it is addictive. But when you look at the good behaviors of therapies and therapeutic adherence that you want to get there, it can really help you, right? If you're in this and you might need all the information to change a lifestyle or anything, it's definitely the right thing. But as you said, and I think it's really good, it's addictive, right? And sometimes you have to focus on more aspects of your health, right? I can see that there are some people that are radical in this area, radical in this area, which this algorithm also can lead to, right? If you are focusing too much on things. And this is something where you need to see health more holistically as well. So I think it's a good direction, but you have to manage it really carefully.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's something we really need to have in the back of our mind. I know I have actually a question for the audience. So are you planning to invest in AI in your business at all right now? I would love to see your answers in the comments, and then we might go back to them later. Let's go to trend number 2. Significant investments in AI. Will you go in-house versus outsourcing? So we see that there are major tech companies already, like Microsoft and Meta and more, that are heavily investing in AI infrastructure right now. And there is a corporate dominance in AI investments that highlight the importance of AI in business strategy. So what are the broader implications? How businesses can strategically invest in AI to stay competitive? And when we talk about you and life science now, Max, what advice would you give to smaller companies looking to invest in AI? And can you discuss a little bit and share how Daiichi Sankyo approaches the AI investments and innovations right now?
Yeah, I would start with a question. So I hired one for innovation a couple of months ago, and the question was, so you want to drive innovations in the corporate environment, right? So how much do you invest yourself in this innovation? I think this is where it starts with AI as well. Do you personally, are you keen on the technology? Do you personally drive this forward? What is your personal mindset on this technology? And it starts with every one of us, looking at your daily routines, looking at the processes, looking how you want to integrate it in your life. And then you think on a more corporate structural level, right? Because you need to think more about scale. So what does need to get you there to use AI technology on a personal level and on a scale level? And your question was, what tip would I give to smaller companies on this? Mm-hmm. Once you realize that AI will increase your productivity, you also realize what your true potential is. What is your USP? What is your personal USP? What are you good at? And the same thing goes for companies. What are you really good at your core of your company? And this is something that you need to keep in. And this is something you need to find out. And then you need to look, what are the other processes where you can become okay, mediocre, etc. There you can increase efficiency, effectiveness. These are parameters you can outsource. There was a study of BCG, I think, in the beginning of the year that showed people that are okay or mediocre performing, if they use AI, they get better. But the ones that are really at the best of their industry, they are getting down in their values because their smartness, their creativity, the extraordinary capabilities that they have. And this is something that every company needs to check. What are we really good at? Where do we want to get better? And what are the right tools and processes that we should use?
Yeah, agree. I remember that slide. We spoke about it. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about trend number 3, monetization challenges. So despite all the advancements in AI, AI businesses face challenges in monetization due to the high costs of computing power. There are lower margins in AI-driven services compared to traditional platforms. So it's important to understand the financial aspects of implementing AI in business generally. How do you balance investment in AI with ensuring profitability? I'm sure this could be super exciting as you are in pharma, and pharma doesn't really have financial troubles usually.
Some have. It depends.
Some have, yeah, that's right.
The M&A business you did in the past. So I think
Yeah.
the industry is a bit different, right? Because everything is on a long-term scale. So if
Mhm.
you, for example, you are starting your research in new products, it takes you 20 years in patent time. By the time you start commercialization, you're up to 8 to 6 years that you still have to go. So you spend already about half to 2/3 of it on your R&D, clinical trials, etc. So you have to look at AI across the value chain, and there's different parts of it. So speed is one thing. Speed, time to market in the right sector. So if I can help you to have your product placed in the right sector for launch, or I can help you to be in the market faster, that you can help your patient groups faster. That's a competitive advantage. So in this case, you would use technology to drive value in your current product line. So this is something else. And you can use this further down the line when you see commercialization or any go-to-market models that you have. If you increase efficiency, if you bring your drugs to your right patients faster in time, these are things that really help you in the market. So you would leverage AI to your current portfolio. The other thing is you would do beyond the pill services. So you will build an independent revenue stream out of this technology to drive outcomes for your patients. And this is another task. And this is a very different mindset because you have to think differently. And the margins in these products are on a very different scale than pharma is used. And this aspect is particularly important for a lot of startups. Startups, they work with pharma companies, they do collaborations, etc. And the mindset is often very different because they are with their technology and their product, and they need to clearly figure out what is it doing. Are we supporting our product? Is it about the product scaling up? Is it supporting the pipeline? And to have clarity on this is really important. So the aspects of this monetization, it's really across different sectors where you're on the life cycle and thinking about where you want to drive the value stream out of it.
Mhm. Okay, thank you.
But maybe an additional point as well, when you look at, and it goes back to your aspect of smaller companies. I think because there it's particularly valuable. You need to think where your cost drivers are and really think also in time and time to market and scalability and reflect on this. Before I started like a couple of years ago to really focus on AI, I always too often accepted the processes and wanted to do classic process improvement. Whereas right now, I think more in the market principles and not in changing the process, enhancing the processes, but understanding the principles and using AI directly in this. And this helps you to shape the size of your organization, how you want to structure it, etc. So you can rethink the entire process by understanding the principles, using the new technology to build a different way you orchestrate the markets. And this is extremely powerful.
Agree. Yeah. Okay. Great
And
point.
from your experience, Karolyne, because you also worked with many different industries in your past, and now you help them to understand and leverage AI. What are your thoughts and your experience from other industries regarding monetization strategies? What did you learn from other industries? Or you can say, okay, this is pharma, this is special, but from your previous experience, what do you think? Where do you see similarities or major differences?
I mean, the challenge quite often was in the past, whenever I went into all kinds of industries, I mean, I've seen like telecommunications, media, chemicals, aerospace and defense. There were industries that decided to wait a bit longer, that decided to wait until they see the broader implications. They waited to see how others did it. And that's the big challenge. And once others did it, once others went first, they could decide, okay, what are we going to do with this now? Are we going to try it out? Are we going to? And that's when they were already late. So deciding to invest early and innovate early, that's what will make the difference with your business within your industry. So there is a certain first mover advantage, which has its costs, definitely. But it also has plenty of benefits because, yes, others will learn from you, but you are the baseline and you are the one that are first. So, yeah.
But that's really good, right? So people should start early and they should talk to you, see the strategies, and see what's the best way to engage. I completely agree.
Yes. Yeah, totally. Yeah, some of them really lost along the way just because they waited too long and then tried to clean up whatever was left. And that was a lot pricier than just trying and become the first and try to innovate first. So, yeah. Yeah.
It's good. So if you're really fast and you're really one of the earlier guys, you don't need to be that smart to make money. That's a good thing.
Yeah, that's right. You can always hire and get help. You don't need to figure out everything yourself, right? So yeah. And a question for the audience now: what monetization challenges do you foresee with AI in your industry? We collect them and talk about them later. When we continue now with the next trend, an interesting one, AI companions. So there is a rise of AI-driven virtual companions, e.g. AI girlfriends, that address loneliness. And there is a potential risk of increased social isolation and mental health issues. So the broader implications are, one, okay, the ethical considerations of AI companions in various industries, but there's also, we don't need to only look at the AI girlfriend part, but there are so many AI companions when we speak in our, when we focus on our industry or in your industry, for example. So how do you see AI companions impacting, for example, patient care or mental health?
I first need to start on this AI girlfriend thing. So for me, this was no, I need to start on this because I've had
go ahead.
podcast on this one a couple of weeks ago. So there was this guy, and then he broke up with his girlfriend, and then he took all the data that he had in WhatsApp, and he uploaded it to the AI, and then he was continuing to get WhatsApp, and I was basically keeping up his girlfriend and his routine and everything on this, which I thought back at this day, I thought it was really scary. This is really scary. But then I took a thought also with the healthcare system. So I remember that in nursery homes, for example, if elderly people, they used to drive bus, for example. So they have like this bus stops. There's no bus coming. So they go there out in the morning, they sit out there all day, and then the evening they are taken back. So it's something which kept me thinking. And I remember my own grandmother. I visited her a lot in the elderly home, and at some point, you're not always there, and they need interactions, etc. And if they would have a companion, and loneliness is a big topic for them, right? And they also have smartphones, and they're getting more digitalized. To have someone, I think you need to be really ethically correct, not to mimic your son and your grandsons, etc. But if they have someone to talk to, right, and it's important, to see this aspect, whether they go to get a haircut and they talk to the hairdresser, the guy at the supermarket or whatever, they have interactions, and maybe not too much that they need it. And to give this form of companionship in this case, I think it's a huge market, and it's a huge benefit to the relatives there. And I think it's fascinating that we are there with technology. I saw with the GPT for Omni, how good you can interact and in parallel, etc., and the progress that is there. I think it's a great part, and it's something that's developing that I see also across different industries, right? If you have your gym partner that you can talk to while being in the gym, you can monitor your heart rate and everything that's going on into this. So it's this level of interaction that during COVID somehow we all saw how much we need this, how much it is needed in our daily life for the way that our psychological safety and everything is there. So it's,
I mean, when we transfer this AI companionship maybe away from the AI girlfriend part, but the AI coach part, the little AI friend that gives you feedback in meetings, the colleague that has all the information about all the past meetings that he joined. He could give you feedback, he or she, it could give you feedback on whatever you spoke about, whatever you should speak about, maybe in sales calls, or give you feedback when you are in a board meeting or any other meeting in a business surrounding. There could always be like a little AI companion that helps you to make better decisions, that help you to become a lot faster. Everyone is on the same page. It's a crazy development, to be honest. What's your opinion on that?
I think so what I learned, it's the little things, right? So I can imagine a guy totally unrelated to me, after a long day at work, driving home, parking his car outside. There would be little AI companions that's like, how was your day? 3 things. And 3 things to remember when you walk in and meet your wife, that you have a wonderful evening and not start a fight or anything. So it's the little things, the right information that you need at some point to drive decision making that you're often unaware of. I think this is the time when you go in board meetings, go in something, have this relation. It doesn't matter. It's not an overload of information, which you normally have in our environment, but it's just 3 things that you need to remember now for the next 2 minutes, and then you're good. But we're often not conscious about ourselves, then the situation, and this would really help a lot of people. I think, because how much time do you really have in your board meeting? The first minutes, seconds count, and maybe this 2 minutes before, get these 3 points, nail them, then you're through, and then you're good. And I think this is often little information that we need to get better and look at things.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you saw the movie Her. So it's basically an AI companion, the little AI gadget that the main character keeps carrying around. He keeps having a conversation with her all the time. She reminds him of important meetings. She reminds him, conversations about to-dos. But she also speaks to him about, like you just said, how his day was, what's important to him. They have real conversations. But then in the back end, this AI companion has like real conversations with a million other people at the same time, because it's a software, it's a tool. So what happened? He fell in love with her. So, and then there was an update, and okay, I don't want to spoil anything, but it's a great movie. And
I just saw the trailer, so don't spoil it.
Okay. Okay, I thought you saw it. So and when we go back to patient care and mental health, there are people that really could use companionship, and this will be a huge deal in the future. I just wonder, do you have other ideas in mind about how AI companionship could have an implication on other businesses, like the ones that we just spoke about?
Well, it has various things, right? You have to understand the journey that you're on. I think it's whether you're in life or media marketing, whatever, it's like people are on journeys, and they might have questions and things they don't understand or things they don't see. I think most of them are about themselves and the past. So if you look at actions you did in the past, maybe if you would have, and it's all about the level of data you could access with these companions, right? But maybe you find out patterns that you're doing that you can learn or unlearn. And so I think you can, depending on the data quality you get in and the right data that you need, you can transfer it in everything and make the past visible. And maybe not visible to you, but visible to the AI. So your future actions will derive from bad results you had in the past. And this can basically be almost everything. Whether it's driving, you have mistakes while you're driving a car, you don't see this, but then you can figure it out and the car could react for you, etc. So there's a lot of things where a companion in any form can help you in pattern recognition and not doing the patterns that you didn't like in the past.
Good point. When we think about AI companionship, I also think about a companion for kids. Yeah. I don't want to go into this now, but a kid having a little companion on his way to school. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, for example, with an AI companion for kids, look at learning, you could access data of multiple different learners, so like millions of other kids learning. You can see how the kid is learning, what is it struggling with. You can compare it to data of previous kids in the same status, can see the development, and then can change, like, for example, nutrition, you need to go for a run first, or you need to be out. So you can really steer this and steer the trends and see the way people learn and see the learning patterns. So I think companions in every direction, it's massive, right? If you have the right data, if you can spot patterns, you can basically do proactive decision making and analysis and trends in every area.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, companionship doesn't only need to be just on the way to school, but like you said, is he or she moving enough? Is he doing sports? How is he eating? Is he happy? What's going on in his life? What can you do to make his life or her life better? Yeah, it's an interesting thought. Well, let's ask the audience. I mean, what are your thoughts on AI companions, and do you see them as beneficial or harmful? And talk about the next trend, the AI in global economic shifts. So AI's role in transforming global economic dynamics is especially in emerging markets like India. There's an influence of AI in geopolitical and economic strategies. So there's the broader implications are like how AI-driven economic shifts can create new business opportunities and challenges. And in your opinion, so how do you see AI impacting global economic trends and business strategies at Daiichi Sankyo, for example?
I think not specifically for Daiichi Sankyo, but on a larger pharmaceutical scale. If you look at countries like India, you might have areas where there's not the best drinking water, food quality, etc., but you have a good coverage of cell phones and of mobile infrastructures. So for me, I think always in the access point, right? If you have a good access point of technology that is better than doctors, pharmaceutical infrastructures, and healthcare professionals in this area, you have a very different entry barrier on driving this, and especially looking at diagnostics. This is a huge effect. So you could make a video call, get a diagnosis, and maybe get the medication flown in with the drone directly to you. So you have different aspects that you can do, and you can do this. You don't need an insurance system. You can do this out of pocket. So everything that we are used in the Western world, have an insurance system, have hospitals, have working infrastructures, have doctors, practitioners' offices. These are things that might not exist in different markets. And this can be seen as an advantage, right? Everything can be seen as an advantage and disadvantage because you need to play forward on what you have. And if you have these infrastructures, you can use technology and make a huge drive forward on this one.
I mean, opportunities and challenges are big here. There will be global economic shifts.
I can give you also a tangible example of a former emerging market and how they did it. It was China, for example. In China, they had 1.2 billion people that would be in the insurance system, and there wasn't a structure at all. But with WeChat, they were starting to offer insurance businesses. And I myself was in China a couple of years ago, and I was using the WeChat insurance. So I got a headache, and I was in a restaurant. And my friend Xiao said, like, "Oh, you have a headache? Okay." And I got this WeChat phone. I talked to a nurse, and she said, "Okay, this and this. Okay, good. Okay, in English. It was in English." And then, so it was fine. It went over the insurance of a friend of mine. And then a guy came by, and he drove the medicine, and he gave it to the guy at the restaurant, and he brought me the medicine with a glass of water in the restaurant. So it was a seamless integration. He got like visitors passes for people visiting him and friends, etc. And they also have an option that you can insure your parents based on your current insurance plan. And what gets even better is that you don't have like a certain amount that you have to pay, but it's a voluntarily paid system. So you pay as much as you want, and you get credits for it. Based on these credits that you give to the community, you get better treatment as well. And this is an insurance system that covers about 200 million people. So the power that you have with technology in driving this is absolutely massive. It's absolutely massive.
WhatsApp has there's an incredible opportunity with monetization and WhatsApp and AI. There's so much potential WhatsApp but a lot better and a lot more advanced. Like you said, yeah, there's potential to make a payment processing through WhatsApp. I've never used WeChat, but you said you did in China. It's big. And this is one of the other trends that I see, there's so much opportunity to monetize WhatsApp, especially for Meta, of course, because WhatsApp is part of Facebook Meta. And there's a huge opportunity to enhance communication and customer engagement with WhatsApp, because we are so flooded with all the news in our feeds, with all the content in our feeds. If we use Facebook or LinkedIn or X or what else is there, Instagram and and TikTok, we spoke about TikTok, but in the end, we don't really read all of that anymore. So there's a lot of noise in our feeds, but when we go to WhatsApp, messages that we receive through WhatsApp, we tend to read. 99% we read the messages. Excluding the group chats that we are all in, yeah. But direct messages that we receive through WhatsApp, we read them. So there's a whole lot of opportunity to improve the customer communication with WhatsApp, for example. Yeah, and I see more and more websites where there's this little button at the end of the website. Come have a direct line to me. There's no contact formula, no nothing. Yeah, there's just a direct line. You just click, it opens WhatsApp, and you have a direct contact and the option to directly communicate with the one that's on the website, with the owner of the website. Yeah. For example, on my website, I also added this. Yeah, I know from other friends and that also have this WhatsApp button on their website. It's like a little teeny tiny widget that you can just add, and it removes the friction of getting in contact with each other, with communicating with each other. Usually, also when you go on LinkedIn now, there's link in bio to contact me, send me a DM, or visit my website or book an appointment. People don't want that, really. People don't want to visit a website or book an appointment. It's a lot of friction between the offer that you have and the customer that you could have. Yeah. And if you reduce the friction by, for example, using WhatsApp more and more, and customized communication, because you can also automate all of the communication that you have on with WhatsApp. There's a huge opportunity here to look forward to dive into this, in my opinion. So, and you also said, Max, that there's so much opportunity if we look to WeChat. What else is WeChat capable of? What else can WeChat do?
Everything.
Everything. What do you mean?
I went to a restaurant, and you can download the menu of the restaurant in WeChat, can order, can pay, you can even order medicine and get the server bring the medicine to you with water. So it's fully integrated. But I think the perspective, and you talked earlier about it, is personalization, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at the other silos, they're going to you via push, right? And this is one channel that you own, you can personalize, and based on this, you have an ownership, and then the communication goes not directly to you, but also via you. And I think this is a huge difference. And this is why WeChat, and I fully agree with WhatsApp, has huge potential in further customization, adding services, and building a holistic setup. Because the one potential with AI, it doesn't matter if it's GPT or the Gemini, etc. The thing, we're now in a very steep curve. But at the end, it's personalization, how you can use it, why you can use it, what you use it for. And this will count, and the potential is there. And if you have a communication platform, and humans are about communication, and it's WhatsApp, it's ready to use, and it's there, yeah.
Yes. And it's not only about communication, but it's like new revenue streams, right? There are also like people that you can follow now on WhatsApp that share like their latest news, their latest whatever they did, events or books that they just wrote, share the links directly to Amazon, whatever. So there is a new WhatsApp, and the AI that you combine with it, there are revenue streams behind that can be big. Okay, so in the beginning, I spoke a little bit about the gift for the ones that shared that stayed until the end, and that's a little bit that I want to share with you right now. So Mark Cuban said it, and I think we all know it by now. There will be two types of companies in the end: those who are great at AI and everybody else. That's something that billionaire Mark Cuban said, and I think he's pretty right. So using AI isn't an option anymore. It is essential to stay ahead. And if you want to follow up with me or with Max, I added some QR codes here to contact me or to Max if you have any more questions. And now it's time for the Q&A.
I think
we'll
it's
5 more minutes.
to be open. It's really important to not stick to every process that you have, that you, like when you started with digitalization, you try to digitalize everything that you did in a manual classical way. I think you need to rethink this. You need to think, what are the principles of the market? What are the principles of business? Go back to your old textbooks, go back to your really understanding of things, and then start to imagine new processes with new technologies. And don't accept the old processes as the gold standard or anything. In the current days, there are no gold standards. And it's really important to reflect, to learn, to challenge yourself, then to challenge the organization, and to learn the potentials that are there and to clearly see them. And by this, you really need to embrace it. And it's a good thing to take a good crash course to really get over you, to start with this. Because the time is now, right? If we're talking 3 months, 4 months, you might have missed opportunities already. And it's a daily job to look at this, daily job to reflect, and potential is there.
There doesn't really go one day by that there's something new. And for everyone that starts late, they will feel overwhelmed by everything that's going on. So there are huge opportunities to dive in and become an early adopter. There's so few people out there right now that really dive in. It's too bad because they will miss the train.
But it's also good for everybody else starting and using it, because it's increased the opportunity to make money. So yeah. I'm really happy that there's not too many people using it, because it drives a lot of advantages for everybody using it now, to be honest. For me, it's good. I mean, like formats like this, I don't really need to or want to talk too much about it, because I think it's a secret that you can really use it and it drives the change, right? And if everybody does it, then you need to figure out something else. So until then, it's the right thing to do and go forward and use it.
I'm just sharing the comment from Manuela here. In my opinion, it's a clear obligation of each CIO to put AI on the agenda, to make it a priority, to give room for experimentation and exploration. Absolutely agree. We'll be closing this right now. As you're my guest today, Max, you'll have the last words. Thank you so much for joining. For the ones that join live on LinkedIn, for the ones that might be watching later.
Perfect. Then thank you for having me today, giving me the opportunity to talk about something that I really, really love, and I think will help all of us to move forward. Be brave, be open, embrace it, and get on the train as fast as possible, everyone, guys. It's leaving now.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks again for everyone, and looking forward to talk soon. I'll close this now. Thanks so much. Bye-bye, guys.